When Pulsechain launches and Pulsex launches with it, there's going to be so many arbitrage opportunities available. And if you watch the other videos I've been doing and get a better grasp of what arbitrage is, how it works, and how to find it, then when Pulsex and Pulsechain launch, you could take advantage of those arbitrage opportunities. In this video, we're going to go through another example that is currently available. This is currently available based upon what is happening in Uniswap. You could take 50,000 hex and just by running it through, you come out with 52,000 hex or something like that. And you make a quick 400 bucks after fees. It's currently available. I touched on this the other day, but the numbers are a little bit different today, and the way you run it through is a little bit different today. So we're going to cover all that in this video. But first, if this is your first time here, what's good? My name is Sam, and for those of you who are returning, what's good? Good to see you. If you're returning, you haven't already subscribed, I don't know what is up with you. It is already your second or more time here. You should probably subscribe. And for anybody who wants to support the channel, there's some links down below. Let's get into this. So what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to be talking about Hex, Maximus, and Hedron, because these are all interrelated, which then gives you the opportunity to see things, right? Because they're all connected a little bit, right? And how they're going to be trading. And I would bet something else is going to come out on top of this, given that these two have come out. Maximus and Hedron have both come out in like the last 2 months. I wouldn't be surprised if another thing like this comes out that gives even more opportunity. And in a future video, we're going to cover how to actually price HSIs, which are the staking through natively staking your staking your hex through Hedron, and then you can create like an HSI NFT that you could purchase. Right? Is it worthwhile to do that? How do you go through and actually check the price of that? So we're gonna do another video on that in the future. So make sure you press the subscribe button and the bell notification. But for now, let's get into this thing. So this is currently Uniswap v3. The ratio for Hex to Maxi. Right? I'm not going to cover what these things are, but so this is Maxi to Hedron. Okay, so this literally has just updated, so that the numbers in the spreadsheet I should update, and I will change that from 400 to something probably a little bit less at this point, I believe. So it's let's take this right now actually. 168,715. So this is 168,715. Boom, 100 bucks. So it just changed right like that in the form of this video, right? Okay. This is Hedron. This is a 143246. 143246. So the changes that have literally happened since I've been doing put the data in here actually reduced the profit from 400 down to 70. This is how quickly these things happen. Let me make sure this one's correct. Actually, this one needs to be updated too. 0.870027. So you get to see these are all current numbers. I think I fucked that one up. 870027. So these are all current numbers, and this does take into account the fees here. And the fees say they're 25 bucks, but if you actually look over here, the fee is $8, right? The fee is $8. So it takes into account the Uniswap fee, and it takes into account the ETH fee. But if you were to say that this is only 10 bucks, because that's the current fees on the network, it would be 113. But let's just leave them at 25 to be conservative, right? Even though we get to see right here, gas is only 11 bucks. Okay, let's understand what's going on here. First, let's understand why in an efficient market this is not the case. If you have a marketplace with apples, oranges, and bananas, and they all trade 1 for 1 for 1, and then these two 1 for 1, there is no way somebody could take 5 apples and put that into the marketplace and trade through any sequence and come out with more than 5 apples, because they're all trading efficiently. Now, if they were not trading efficiently, one could put in 5 apples and come out with 7, 6, 12 apples, depending on the size. And you get to see, literally, I just watched that happen. It was $400 plus profit after fees, and that changed. This is how quickly some of these things can happen, right? Where it goes in and out. So the people who are paying attention to this can actually utilize this to trade this and make the profit. Okay. So this is a ROI of 0.74%, almost 1%. So what does it do to get you 1%? This is like you could do until you completely arbitrage this away. Like you could do this 3 times every 10 minutes or however long it takes you to get through this sequence, right? So if you did this, say 5 times in an hour, 5 times 7 is $350, right? And you could just keep running through this over and over again, right? Until this number doesn't make sense anymore. Until this number is close to, barely making any money for you. And this is one, as I don't know if I mentioned this, but the big guys can't take advantage of this. People with a lot of money can't take advantage of this because of slippage, right? If you try to make a big trade to take advantage of this all at once, you're going to get screwed because of slippage, because the liquidity pools are not gigantic for things like Hedron, and they're not super gigantic for Maxi either. So the only people who can take advantage of things like this are people with small bags, right? And my bag is like microscopically small. Otherwise, I would be taking advantage of these. So let's get into the data here. So 50,000 hacks. Somebody has 50,000 hacks, and the reason I used 50,000 hacks is because over Twitter, I had somebody called Motley say that if I can beat him in he's got $14,000. If I can beat him in the next 90 days in terms of his followers, this is me, 2,750 versus 14,300, right? If I can beat him, I get 50,000 hacks, right? That's kind of where that came from. If you want to support or help out, there's a link down below for Twitter. Go follow and then retweet something that you found interesting that I tweeted. So 50,000 hacks, and we're going to convert that to Maxi, right? And this right here is the fee for Uniswap. It's a 0.3% fee, so that's why it's 1 minus 0.003. Excuse me, then times the Maxi amount. So that gives us 43,000 Maxi. The ETH fee, as we mentioned, it'd probably be better to just be accurate with this kind of stuff in terms of the actual ETH fee. Okay, it's $12 here, right? So let's just call this $15. Then we're going to take the Maxi and we're going to convert that to Hedron, right? And when we do that, we're going to have another fee, and the fee is paid in terms of the token that is being swapped from. So we have Maxi and we're swapping from Maxi to Hedron. So we're going to pay the fee in Maxi. So that's why it is right here. Okay. Excuse me. The sequence of it actually doesn't matter because of the math. But this gives us 7.3 billion Hedron, right? And then we're going to take that Hedron and we're going to swap it for hex. So when we do that, and again, we do the same thing, we pull out the fee here. So we've already factored in these fees in terms of these calculations here. This gives us 50,776. And this, say, these, we'll call these 15 as well, because that's what's actually taking place in the market. If the fees were, say, 30 bucks, it probably makes it barely profitable. Oh, let's say they were 40 bucks. If they're 40 bucks, then it's like, you know, it's 20 bucks worth of profit, right? You're like, well, I mean, if you could do 30 of those in an hour, right? And maybe it makes sense, right? 10 times that is 200, so that's 600 bucks or something like that. But let's go back to what the actual fees are. This gives us an extra 775 hex by not doing anything. Remember when it said the apples, the bananas, and the oranges, they all trade 1 for 1 for 1. This is similar, right? We have hex, hedron, and maxi. Right? Same idea, right? In the other example with the apples, the oranges, the bananas, if you take 5 apples, there's no way to put that into the system and come out with 6 apples. But due to the way that these trade and the inefficiency in the market, you're able to actually put in 5 apples and get out 6. That you shouldn't be able to do that if the market was efficient. And in this case, you make $100. If you did this every 10 minutes over a course of an hour, there's $600 worth of profit. Right? You did that, 6 times over the course of an hour, and you make 6% in 1 hour on your portfolio. These prices here for hex, maxi, and hedron all came from Nomics over here. But this is going to be all over the place when Pulsex launches. If we are seeing this right now in the current marketplace that has a lot of eyeballs on it, and then there's already opportunity to make money, think about what's going to happen. Think about what if these ratios are different. Let's update this real quick. Let's just see how updated this is. Okay, this one hasn't changed. Let's try to do this one again. We'll do 0 and then do a 1, just to make sure. Yep. Okay, so that one hasn't changed. I'll double check this one. Oops. This is going to be some crazy times ahead, guys. This is going to be absolutely insane. And let's check this one here just to make sure that they haven't changed. Okay, so this one did. Cool. It is. This is hedron hex. Paste. Right. So $86. So these opportunities don't last for long. As people see them and they trade through them and they make the money, they push those ratios so that they're closer to being efficient, where you have the 1 for 1 for 1 is the way you can think about it. Another way to go about looking at these to understand if it makes sense is you can take a look at the ratio between how much hedron you get for hex, right here, and how much hedron you get for maxi, right here. So let's do that in the cell here. If you take the maxi divided by the hedron, we're at 1.76, right? How can you tell if that makes sense? Well, we have something convenient here. This is the dexscanner.com. This is Maxi's price, right? This is Maxi's price relative to hex. So this is in hex dollars, or in hex terms, right? Would be a better way to put that. And when we look at this in terms of hex, let's make this a little bigger. When we look at this in terms of hex, there's a sell-off right now. So anytime, if you were looking at this and you were trying to figure out when's like the best time to do this, if this continues to sell off, if Maxi continues to come down, then that could be opportunities. You just have to run through and play the numbers again. But if you look over here, it's probably hard to see, but it says 1.1426. So Maxi is selling at a premium to hex of 14.26%. Back over here. When you look at the ratios, it's actually, for hedron, you're getting a 17.6% premium. So these are incorrect. Then you're like, oh, because they're incorrect, that will allow you to trade through the sequence and make money on the other side, just like we did here. So let's update these one more time, just because I'm curious. If you guys have any questions, you can let me know down below in the comment section. Okay, so we're gonna update this one more time just to make sure you guys get to see, right? It's $8, right? It's $8.55 for gas right now. $8. If I had liquid, I would definitely be taking advantages. Okay, 42, cool. We got a new number updated for hedron. Let's see what happens here. I think this is going to be the one that may actually increase the profit. Yes. Okay, cool. Increased it to $125, right? So this is not getting arbed away completely. There's $125 on the table. And if this was like $9, which probably you don't never know obviously what it's going to be, it would be $140. Do that like a couple times during an hour, right? Make some money doing that. So hopefully you guys found this helpful, interesting, and useful. If you did, make sure you jump below and let me know in the comments, or if you want to see other videos on this kind of stuff, let me know down below in the comments. If you want to help me potentially be able to win 50,000 hacks, because you found value in this video, you found it interesting, you're like, let me help this fucking weird dude out. Jump down below in the description, jump over to Twitter, say what's good. Appreciate you guys. Also, there's another YouTube channel I have where I cover fitness related stuff. So that icon is coming up here. You can click over to that channel and check out what I do over there if you're curious about fitness and the fringe of fitness, similar to the fringe that we're in right now in DeFi. That is also happening in fitness, but on a different way, in a different way. So appreciate you guys. Oh, one more thing. You can check out my Instagram, the sam.stolt. I post a lot of fitness related stuff over there as well. Thank you. Peace out.